Hello and welcome. My name is Eric and... hang on a second. There, that's better. You may not be able to tell the difference, but I most certainly can. Hello and welcome, my name is Eric and today is Friday. So in my blog post on Friday I talked a little bit about Martin Luther King Jr. and I want to continue my thoughts on that, but I want to shift the focus from the person to Martin Luther King Jr. Day. The holiday remembering Martin Luther King Jr. just happened about a week and a half ago and it celebrates his memory and the memory of the civil rights movement. I'm very glad that we have this holiday and that we're able to honor Dr. King's memory and memory of the civil rights movement, but in some ways I think that we have a few issues. I kind of feel like as a nation celebrating this holiday we have an understanding that these are events that happened in the past and that they are now over and done with and that they don't really affect us anymore except in our memory. Unfortunately, the contrary seems to be true. It seems like the events that happened in the past are very similar to events that are happening today. This summer I read a book called Parting of the Waters, which is a very thick book by Taylor Branch, which looks at the history of the civil rights movement from 1954 to 1963. And as I was reading this book, I was struck by how similar so many things I was reading about that happened in the past were to things that were happening that I was seeing in the news today. And I think the similarity between the events that happened in the past and the events that happen today show that we have more issues than we are maybe willing to admit to. Now, I don't really want to get into specifics about issues in this video. What I'm more interested in is how we celebrate the holiday, and maybe about how we celebrate holidays in general, especially holidays that are used to honor the memory of different things that happened in the past. It certainly seems like when we celebrate these holidays that have very specific ties to the past and past events, we don't think that they have any ties to today. And Martin Luther King Jr. Day, in a very unique way, I think, has this quality. Another thing that interests me about these things is that when we have these holidays or when we have anniversaries that celebrate different things that happened in the past, these events come to the front of our mind for about a day and then they kind of fade back into the back of our consciousness. Now, I specifically chose to talk about this holiday while it's still somewhat fresh in our minds, but not on the specific day itself, because I feel like this person and these events are things that we should be thinking about and honoring for more than just a day. Now, I understand that Black History Month is about to start in about 3 days, but I feel like we need more than a month even to think about these topics, especially with how similar past events are to the events of today. I understand that my thoughts on this topic aren't necessarily original and that I'm echoing things that other people have said in the past. Even so, I feel like we need more people talking about these things and being able to honestly discuss these things so that we're able to figure out what is going on today and how it links to the events of our past. Now, I don't know if I've conveyed any information clearly at all or if I've conveyed any of my thoughts clearly at all. That'll be for you to decide. This just serves as one of the many things that I think about. Maybe I should turn that into a segment. Things I think about. It could work really well, or it could be incredibly boring. Hopefully you didn't think any of this was boring. I'll put the link down below to the blog post I wrote. Hopefully you'll be able to read it, and I will see you again on Tuesday. It's probably not straight though, but I do cut it by myself, so what are you gonna do?